Hey friends, my name is Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. I just realized that the VRX ripped off the ceiling. So that's annoying. But I got it put back up over there. What's up, friends? Welcome to Sunday Q&A. Repairs needed. I'm not feeling great today. I'm going to try my best here. But yeah, I ain't feeling too great. But we will heal together, my friend. Douglas Otwell was first in the chat. Hockey Rounds, Titan, Bob Noxious, Slow Cal, Bob Bruce, Metal Dirt Skin, Chuck P, Raging Leap, Bob Bruce again, Troy Prelog, David 4F, Wake and Bake, Timmons, Left Step, Zero Taste, CB, Frank Nicholas, Mr. B, Kevin Sumner, Denzel the Terrible Prop Junkie, Alexander Lewis Hughes, Gusto, and 661. There should have been a Patreon thing, but it would have only went like a minute ago. Let me make sure that it actually did post, though. CiottiFPV.com is the spot where you can support me on the insanity that is... What, it didn't work? Trying to do FPV full-time. Why did it not... post? It told me that it posted. That's super annoying. I guess I clicked off of it too quick. Hold on. Is there... Oh, yeah, okay. Here we go. We're good. Weird. Very weird. I think I just clicked out of the window before clicking publish. There it goes. Thank you for the reminder on the blinking light. If please remind me if this light is blinking. It's just me forgetting to push a couple of the buttons. And I need to fix this. This is too. So last stream we were kind of talking about like faking light sources, right? Look how weird this looks right now. See, so like the lava lamp is red. You would expect there to be some red light up here, but there's not. There's purple light up here. Doesn't that look weird? Ready? Watch this. Watch this. Watch how much more normal this will look in a second. Studio stream. Wait, no, hold on. Wait. So edit. Okay, so there's a bulb over here that is called something. What's it called? This camera's gonna die. Stop dying, camera. It's not in the list. Ready? This is gonna look more normal. Ready? See what I mean? Purple doesn't make sense there. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, hold on. I gotta get that light. Hooked back up. What's up, friends? Hey, if you want to talk to me direct in the chat, all you gotta do is type CiottiFPV. If you do that, your comment, where you've typed CiottiFPV, or anybody's name for that matter, for that person, it will light up an orange, and they'll know that you're talking to them. Frank Nicholas said, hello, folks. Didn't get a Patreon notice. You should get one now. Farts, come on now. Is this real life? Why you gotta be like this? Studio stand low. Yeah, this is the one. These, look, if you're gonna buy addressable light bulbs, I know it sucks, but spend the money and get the Philips Hue ones. The software, so these ones that I have use Magicomb. What the hell is it up to over there? And the software is not bad. It's also not very good. The problem is when you cut power to these lights, to these light bulbs, I should say, they will like lose their bind, and then to get them going back again, you have to like, why are you asking me this? Oh my god, why are you asking me this? Why? You're supposed to remember the Wi-Fi network, yo. And then like sometimes like it does that and it'll magically like work again. Yeah, like my Wi-Fi network's not even in here. Cancel. Is it work? Oh, you son of a bitch. Studio stand low, that's what it's supposed to be. Will it work? Oh, now it's gone. Yeah, no, it's just okay. It's fine the way it is right now. It's not great, but I now everything is broken. Now the entire software is shit the bed. There we go. Nope, now it's fine. Software does this other thing where like you hit one button and like on the other side of the screen it thinks you hit that button. It's very, very, very weird. Oh no, now it's back. I don't know what color it is now. Nope, yeah, no, it's still not working. Magic Home. It technically works, but it's very, very, very frustrating. Okay, please, please, for the love of God. I told you I wasn't feeling good today. I warned you, my friends. Kevin Sumner with the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, dude. Muttered calling out the blinky light. Thank you, dude. Alexander Lewis Hughes says, I was waiting for the live to start and watched that old video of you power looping, Maddie flipping those tables, man. Good throwback. Yeah, that was, to some extent, what started the madness. Zero Taste FPV says, what do you think of running 4S 1300 kV motors that are rated for 300 watts on 12S? Dude, I have no idea. I have absolutely no clue what anything more than 6S is going to do. I mean, all I can really tell you is that on 12S, 1300 kV motors are the equivalent of 2600 kV motors. And if you were to run 2600 kV motors on 6S, that would be absurd. On a 5-inch prop, if you were going to do like a 4-inch prop or a 3-inch prop, probably like a 4-inch prop, that'd be one thing. But yeah, what the hell components are you going to get that are going to put up with 12S? All right, I can't have the light changing colors the entire live stream. Sorry, guys. I have to either fix it or turn it off. And if I take a second, in theory, while I'm reading the chat, I can fix it. Denzel the Terrible says, keep your eye on the mail this week. Big box from Canada inbound. Thank you so much, dude. Very cool. I can't wait to open it. We'll open it on stream together. Everybody can get to see what Danzilla is hooking the whole community here up with. Thank you, dude. Very cool. What? Why is it? You son of a bitch. What am I supposed to do here? So here's the worst part. Here's the worst part about it. It won't let me choose the right Wi-Fi network, and so I will have to literally, I will have to type in the name of the Wi-Fi network and the password individually, uppercase, lowercase. You got to get it right. Here we go. Ready? Oh my God. Riveting stuff. But I would not be able to watch this with shit changing color at random. So yeah. I know I have to fix it. Okay, that's good. That wasn't actually too bad. Yeah, that's a tough one, Zero Taste. Yeah, I have no experience with anything more than 6S. But yeah, keep that in mind. Keep in mind the fact that 1300 kV motors on 12S are basically 2600 kV motors on 6S, and 2600 kV is way too much RPM for like a 5-inch propeller. Maybe for like a bi-blade you could pull it off, but man, that is an absolute metric ton of RPM. I think you'll have problems with like breaking props and stuff like that. I'm already connected. So yeah, that's the only feedback I can give you on that. Denzel, oh no, we got that. Jake FPV says, explain the shirt. This is a shirt made by a local little artisan shirt maker in Charleston, South Carolina, where I lived for 5 or 6 years. During the time I was living there, Comcast wanted to see how badly they could shit on their customer base before people left. And so they instituted a 200 gigabyte per month limit on your internet usage. Just out of the clear blue, just one day, all of a sudden, I got hammered by like $200 and something in overages. And yeah, for like a 6-month period in Charleston and in a bunch of other spots, or a bunch of other cities around the country. Jesus Christ on a cracker. Yeah, they rolled this program out, and like they didn't educate any of their employees on it. So I would call to ask what the fuck was going on, and nobody knew what they were talking about. Nobody knew what it was. And so they would transfer you and transfer you and transfer you and transfer you, and like eventually they would transfer you and they would hang up on you, and then you would have to start the whole process over again. And you know, it's Comcast, so like every time you call, you have to wait 45 minutes for anybody to pick up the phone. And so yeah, it was just unbelievable. It was so bad. It was so bad. And they just wouldn't do anything. Like they would just say like, no, this is just how it is. You just have to pay the overages. So I ended up having to like you wouldn't believe how quickly you go through 200 gigs in a month. So I had to like really, I had to stop torrenting completely. Stop, and then I just had to like limit how many hours per day, the like Netflix, YouTube, things that use data, were being used in order to get under that, because it was $10 for every extra 50 gigabytes that you would per month. So and yeah, I mean 200 gigs is nothing, and then every extra 50 is it happens quick. So yeah, I had a couple of like monthly cable bills that were like $200 and something, that they just said no. They just said, hey, you know, we sent an email explaining the thing, and it's your responsibility to adhere to that. If you don't like it, you can quit. The reason why they did this, the cities that they picked to do this in, are the cities where they somehow own the lines, and so they could just say, you know, leave if you want to, because they had like pretty much a monopoly on it. Like the only other options were, in Charleston, the only other option was AT&T, and AT&T had to pay Comcast to use the lines in some weird way. So AT&T was much slower. I guess they were throttling them, and it was also much more expensive. Really, really nasty stuff. Really shitty stuff. And yeah, all of Charleston was like, what the fuck? And then there was this local artisan shirt maker that made these shirts, and then we all started wearing them, and it didn't accomplish anything. Maybe it did. Eventually they, after I think about a year, they stopped that plan. They stopped that thing and went back to normal, the way that everybody else around the country is. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. This usually I can force it onto the. I can force type in the name of the network, but that's not working this time. I don't know what to do here. I guess I'm just gonna have to turn that light off. Yeah, I don't quite understand why it won't find our Wi-Fi network. This makes no sense. Yeah, okay. Nah, nothing works. Awesome. I was sitting here earlier. I was like, man, I hope that nothing works today. This would be a perfect fucking day for nothing to work. I'm so excited to have nothing work today. This would be just a fucking crackerjack operation here if nothing worked. Let's work on quads. There you go. There's the example that I was trying to give you. That bulb is a little bit too bright, though. But, yeah. Look, I warned you. I warned you at the beginning. Jarno says, what's your opinion on overclocking a flight controller? Any benefits? I mean, the benefits are going to be that you can run higher PID loop cycle. Like instead of 4K, you can go up to 8K on the PID loop, and that does apparently make it run a little bit better. And then you can potentially go up from like Dshot 300 to Dshot 600. Most rigs seem to fly totally fine on Dshot 300 PID loop and 4K. Hell, the BMI 270 gyro only runs at 3.2K or 3.23K or whatever the hell it is. So yeah, you're grasping at like that last 1% doing it. I would be worried about. I wouldn't do it on a rig with an AIO. I wouldn't do it on a rig with an AIO with like ELRS built in. They get pretty hot as it is. I would only really do it on like a separate flight controller, or at least an older AIO that doesn't have Express LRS. Like the older AIOs with FR Sky, for example, they did not get as hot. There's something about ELRS that just creates a little bit extra temperature. And, you know, AIOs are tough, right? Like you've got the VTX built in, you've got everything built in. So yeah, you probably get away with it. I've never really done it to like stress test it or anything like that. It's hard to stress test whoops anyway. Like if with how hard that we beat on tiny whoops, it would be hard to like overclock the CPU and then definitively say like, yes, this is the problem. This is what caused this AIO to die. I don't really see many people talking about it either. I don't know. It's here's what I would do. If you had a rig that you set the PID loop to the speed that you want, 4K or 8K, you set Dshot 300 or 600, and you're seeing and you're getting situations where the CPU is basically maxing out. Like when you're flying, there'll be like a weird delay, or like sometimes when like the Betaflight menu comes up, like if you do a stick command, there'll be like a really like a 2 full second delay. Like you'll kind of notice it. Then you might mess around with overclocking. I think in the CLI, if you just type like get, forget what it's called. If you type get CPU into the CLI, I bet you'll find it. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick look. Hold on. Maybe we can find it real fast. Like, this is just a random AIO sitting here that actually does need a home. Betaflight. Here we go. Why does Betaflight take so long to launch? What else is going on? Chad. Freelojo with the Patreon link. Thank you for putting that into the chat, my friend. Wigabake says, when the hell is Tiny Whoop getting motors back in? Whenever HappyModel sends them to them. Tiny Whoop has zero control over it. They order, every single time they order motors, they tell HappyModel, how many of these can I possibly get? HappyModel says 100. Tiny Whoop says, I can't get any more than that. HappyModel says no. Tiny Whoop says sold. And then as soon as they get, there's just like a standing order of like, how many motors can I get? How many motors can I get? How many motors can I get? And so, yeah, the motors show up. Tiny Whoop sells them quick because it's a popular website, and they're having the right size and kV and weight and whatever motors made, and then they wait for more. So yeah, it's nothing that Jesse has any control over. If he could order 1,000 motors at a time, he certainly would. But yeah, it's a manufacturing issue. So if you type get CPU, hey, look at that. Yep, I was right. So if you just type get CPU, it'll guess CPU underscore overclock, and then there you go. So it looks like it actually already is, maybe, but it looks like I could technically also push it up to 120. I'm not gonna do that though. Yeah, I'm fine with. Let's see. What's this AIO on? This is just like a standard. Oh, come on, man. So the PID loop. Oh, this is a BMI 270 gyro. Okay, yeah. So the PID loop frequency is at 3.2, and then the what's the other? The other one is Dshot, and it's at Dshot 300. I actually might be able to run this one at. Let's see, actually. Since it's on, so the CPU load is only at 36%. Okay, maybe. I'm gonna leave it. Oh, nope, it changed it back. That was weird. I don't think it likes Dshot 600. Is there something that like blocks it? That's interesting. Yeah, no, it keeps setting it back. Weird. It just refuses to. I don't know. Whatever. Flies fine on Dshot 300. I hate to like. Oh, it flies fine on this, but it really does. I don't know. I've heard a couple people claim that there's a slight increase in performance, like I mentioned earlier, on the higher Dshot, on the higher PID loop frequency rate. But as an example, for the PID loop frequency rate, as an example, KISS, which a very small segment of the FPV population absolutely swear to God flies better than Betaflight, runs at 1K for the PID loop frequency. It doesn't fly better, but it flies totally fine at 1K on the PID loop frequency. So yeah, like the overclocking thing, like you might, if you're good enough to get like to get like 99.9% of the performance out of the quad, and you're looking for that last 0.1%, I would maybe go down that road. If like me, you're nowhere near that good as a pilot, I would skip it and go for durability and reliability. That's sort of just my 2 cents. Frank Nicholas says, yep, received Patreon notice 314. All right, cool. Denzel the Terrible says, say the date. Today is Sunday, March 17th. I think it's St. Patrick's Day. YouTube just did the thing. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. YouTube, you jerks. Freelojo watched Short Circuit and Bill and Ted Face the Music this morning. Oh my god. Short Circuit is still good. I saw parts of that not too long ago. Bill and Ted, though. Best part of Bill and Ted is George Carlin, in my opinion. Yeah, I never loved Bill and Ted's, any of the Bill and Ted movies, but Short Circuit, man, I loved that movie. My God, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I started to play Last of Us for the first time last night with Azalea. We're kind of like passing the controller back and forth. Basically, Azalea plays, and then when she gets to a part that she can't figure out or is too scared, she'll hand the controller to me, and then I'll shoot the bad guys in their faces, and then I give it back to her. What a game! Oh my god! I had heard that it's like it's kind of a game that sort of redefined this or defines this genre of like storytelling in games, but like another level. You know, games have always to some extent had storytelling built in, but Last of Us was like one of the first ones that, like, one of the things I've heard people say is that it's one of the first games that you'll like cry, like you'll cry your eyes out because the storytelling is so good that they've made you really care about characters, and then when the characters die from being eaten by zombies or infected, you actually become emotional, and that's rad, man. I love that. Like, I love that. You look at storytelling over time, right? Over time, right? Like cave paintings, early days, verbal, of course. Cave paintings, and then storytelling moves into like music, and then film. Roughly at the same time, episodic stuff, right? Television. And now video games, right? Video games are a valid platform for storytelling, and it's super interesting because like it's the first time with this storytelling that you can give the, I remember growing up, I was never really into comic books, but there was this weird thought that I think we've all had where it was like, what if in like a comic book I could like change the page, or it was just one page, maybe like, oh, I don't know, like a rectangle that had like a television on it, but it was like a comic book sized, kind of like an iPad, exactly like an iPad. I think we've all thought like, what if like it was a comic book, but like we could choose our own adventure? There was some element of like choose your own adventure, right? In were they called choose your own adventure books? I don't know. There were these books where it would ask you a question, and then like your answer would be like, all right, if this is your answer, go to page 4. If this is your answer, go to page 7. Right? That's that like branching thing that video games are basically based on. But like, yeah, what a wild thing for that to be a visual experience. I remember thinking that as a young lad. So yeah, video games include that, and in a very seamless and cinematic and amazing way. And yeah, I mean, Last of Us is a game that came out a while ago. I'm playing the PS5 remastered version, so I'm assuming that they cleaned it up a bunch, but it's beautiful. What a gorgeous game, and yeah, just on one hand, I'm like, man, I wish I'd played this sooner. But on the other hand, it's like, well, no, I'm fine. Like the longer I wait to do stuff in life, the more I kind of appreciate it, right? And to get to have like I'm sure someone out there is going, damn it, you're getting to have your first time playing Last of Us experience now, you lucky bastard. I have that same feeling about everybody that discovers something that I discovered a long time ago, right? Like people that just discover Top Gear or like Gears and Gasoline YouTube channel, or like any of the other stuff that I love, and fall in love with it and get to like binge it all now. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like that's I would love to be able to go to have that. People be like, oh, I just discovered Dexter and I'm watching Dexter for the first time. I'm like, oh God, that's the greatest thing ever. There's just stuff that like is extra magic the first time you experience it, and like delaying that. It's almost like I don't want to watch stuff when it's new. Like I want to wait and like let it age a little bit. But then of course there's the chance that you'll have certain stuff about it get ruined for you. I'm not going to say spoiled because that word gets used too much. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Whatever. Life. Danzel the Terrible says, stop using Magic Home app. Put your lights into Google Home. Still need to set up on Magic, but Google does better job controlling. I don't think you can do that. I mean, the lights are meant for Magic Home. Can I just use Google Home and it'll just magically drive these? Is that a thing? I probably won't do that because I've spent a whole bunch of time getting Magic Home to work. and I have like a million different scenes set up, and I have like 20 some odd of these bulbs. So to start all over again would be a real bastard. And I also I don't think it'll work. I am gonna download Google Home though. Okay, I wasn't finished typing, but you know. All right, there we go. So yeah, I'll give it a try. I don't think they'll work though. They specifically say that they interface with Magic Home, but what do I know? I would love it if they worked with something other than that. Denzel, oh no, we got that. Left Step says, just stare directly into your eyes anyhow. What? Oh, I thought you were telling me to. I was like, how am I going to do that? Metadirtskin said, it's called a mirror. Metadirtskin says, and that's why my Wi-Fi network for these IoT devices is called Internet of Shit. Nice. Christian Muotka said, Christian M says, sorry for ruining your last name, brother. Had a shit day yesterday and watched your stream with the first time you ran 40,000 kV motors, and it really made my day. Just the insanity joy of it. Thank you. You're certainly welcome, Christian. That's pretty rad. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That something that I did was able to turn your day around. That's awesome. Thank you for telling me that, man. I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Brand Anderson says, 5 sticks a day. It's all I can handle as of late. Cheers and thanks, CiottiFPV. You're certainly welcome, man. 5 batteries a day will yeah, man, that'll completely change you as a pilot. So if you can make the time for that every day, yeah, that's pretty rad. That's huge. Prop Junkie says, oh god, if you're sharing torrent files, you can do 200 gigabytes in a day. Yeah, right. And I was barely sharing. It was just, you know, that was back in the time that that everybody was torrenting, and we were all downloading all kinds of different stuff. Yeah, for them to put a 200 gig monthly limit was like, are you fucking for real? There was a month or maybe 2 months where I called them pretty much every day to try to get through to anybody that could explain to me what the fuck was going on and why they thought that it was okay to just randomly do this, and also like trying to get someone to explain to me how they can justify it. Like, how can you justify limiting bandwidth on a cable modem service that isn't affected by bandwidth? Like, it's man, and like I had to because I couldn't change. Like I was just trapped. I will never forgive Comcast for that. Never, ever, 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 ever. Like, they can burn in a fire forever. And for the record, I mean, before that, their customer service was the lowest rated in the whole wide universe. After that, their customer ratings got so bad that they had to rebrand, and they now call themselves Xfinity. And it's really funny, like when if you ever have to have any interactions with them, just be like, you mean Comcast, right? Not Xfinity. They will not. I think they've given their employees training, like, don't admit to it. Like, we are Xfinity. We didn't used to be Comcast. It's so shitty. It's so shitty and shady and just terrible company. Terrible, terrible, terrible company. Kevin Summers says Monopoly is going to do Monopoly things. Yeah, for sure. Frank Nicholas says remove the app and reinstall to clear the current config. Oh man, I don't dare doing that. I don't dare do that because I've spent so much time getting these scenes set up with like the specific colors of lights. I'm terrified that it would delete that. Gert Jan X says, did you have a nice weekend? It's all right. I'm here. We made it. We made it through. Any weekend that we survive is a good weekend. Kevin Summers says, yeah, F411 is blocked now from Dshot 600 and PID loops over 4K. I'll be damned. Huh. F411 is blocked from Dshot 600 and PID loops over 4K. I mean, Dshot 300 and 4K or 3.2K flies great. You know, tiny whoops are an interesting platform for PID loop cycle speeds and Dshot, because everything happens so fast on a tiny whoop. The RPMs are through the roof, and so yeah, makes me wonder though, would there be more of a performance improvement with a tiny whoop going up to the faster loop times than like a 5-inch setup, for example? Munderson says, weren't KISS the same ones insisting that Dshot 3200 was way better? Yep. Or was that someone else? Yeah, the KISS developers swear to God that 1K PID loop is plenty fast, and either Chris Rosser or UAV Tech, or maybe both, disproved that. And yeah, they swear to God that Dshot 11D billion is much better and is the way to go. Which Ryan Harrell of Mini Quad Test Bench has talked to. Oh, I forget his name now. He's a phenomenal pilot. One of the better freestyle pilots on the planet. Ryan had said, like, there's no way that you can tell the difference between Dshot 3200 and, like, let's say 600. And apparently he could. Apparently in proper blind tests, more than like 60-70% of the time he could tell the difference between really high Dshot. I think it was Dshot 1600 versus 600. Yeah, he could tell. Ryan couldn't tell, and I don't really think many other people could tell. But if somebody can, then the difference is there, and it is perceptible by humans. You know, I'm not a human that can probably perceive that, but hey, the difference is there. But yeah, in black box logs, actual data has shown, from what I remember, Mark or Chris, like I said, that 8K on the PID loop does work a little bit better than 4K. But I remember them saying that it's not groundbreaking. Like, it's there, but it's not groundbreaking. And the higher Dshots, it seems to be kind of the same thing. So I don't know. AJ Farah says, pinches CiottiFPV because he has no green on. It is St. Patrick's Day. I had a feeling. I can go put. Yeah, I have no green on. I'm wearing black and gray completely. There's a little bit of green in here. There we go. A little bit of green in this gem fan. Jib jab. Mellerson says, my girlfriend and I played Last of Us the same way. It is one of the greatest games of all time. Yeah, my mind is like, we did an hour and a half, I think, last night. We didn't get as far as you normally would, an hour and a half. Azalea's playing the game slow and super cautious, which I actually love. Like, I don't hate, but I try not to just rush through games, right? Like, how many developers have spent how many thousands of hours on all of these little details in a video game, and then you just bum rush through them, you know? And it's like, yeah, all right, they're there, but Azalea playing the game like really cautious and like kind of being scared, and like, it's really cool. You know, she's 13 and hasn't really been a big video gamer, so she's not really good at video games, which is kind of cool to see. Like a 13-year-old that's not like an absolute ninja at video games, just warms my heart. But she's getting better. She plays Fortnite now with her friends, and I can already see her starting to improve. It's just because she hasn't played. She just hasn't been a video game person up until very recently. So yeah, her playing the game is very interesting. There's also there's this fascinating, like, I can like watch her problem solve, right? Like, like at 13 years old, you know, you're not you just don't have the problem solving skills. Of course you don't. You're only 13. And it's crazy to see, like, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel not so old. Like, she'll be kind of moving around, and like the solution to the problem, right? Because that's what video games are, is problem solving. Will be like over here, and like she won't see it, and I'll just catch myself, and I'll just let her, like, and every once in a while she'll like, I can't figure this out, and I'll kind of like watch that frustration. It's, yeah, I don't know, it's wild. I in my life I haven't really spent much time / any time around kids. Never babysat, never did the child thing. It's wild to see a 13-year-old human being, you know, get transported. This Last of Us is so like detailed that like you really, it's very immersive. And so it's like I can kind of just look over, and like she'll just like, she's in it, man. Like she's in that scene in the game. And then to see like the anxiety, like that's kind of the other thing too. Like when it's like a tense scene, I can literally watch the anxiety prevent her from being able to like properly make decisions. It's crazy, because like, and we all have that, right? Like eventually you get good at it and you get a handle at it and you can control it a little bit more, but it's wild to like see it in such like a fresh new sense. And I'm like, they're being like a new gamer too, it's probably even more heightened, because it's, you know, like once you've played thousands of hours of video games over the course of your life, to some extent you're just relaxed and you're like, yeah, it's just a game. But like, yeah, the youthful whimsy and just like the new gamer aspect, it's really cool. There's times where I'm like frustrated. I'm like, it's right there. But like the way the game is set up, like if you screw up, it only puts you back like 5 minutes. It's really nice. The autosave setup is nice and gradual. So yeah, what a cool experience, man. I'm a lucky guy. So yeah, that was my night last night, pretty late. That's why I'm kind of exhausted. But yeah, really cool. Right 9 says, no spoilers, please. Still playing part 1 on PC. Like I said, we're only an hour and a half in. So although the whole thing has been spoiled for me anyway, because I watched our whole family actually. Sage didn't. I think he watched it on his own, but Azalea, Maggie, and I watched the HBO series, which follows the storyline damn near perfect so far. So yeah, and it'll take Azalea and I probably a month to get through it, because apparently it's a pretty big game, and we've already had to repeat a bunch of the spots. Neither one of us are good first-person shooters, so in the scenes where we have to shoot people, we typically have to do those scenes like 5 or 6 or 7 times in a row, because we're just like fucking potato aiming all over the place, and you know, you don't get much ammo, so we're running out of ammo and shit. But it, you know, hey, it's a video game. Like, there's this weird obsession with like needing to be good at video games. It's like, no, be terrible at video games. The worse you are at video games, the more you're going to get out of them. The more you're going to have to repeat it. The more, like, you know, you're spending $60 on the damn thing. Take your time. Get a bunch out of it. So yeah, I don't know. I love being a terrible video gamer. Zach says, do you have any... YouTube just did the thing. Zach says, do you have any advice for where to put a TBS Unify VTX on a tiny whoop? Meteor 75 airframe, Mobula 6 Nano 3 camera. The most popular spot to put it is down below, above the battery bay. Let me help you out here. On people's channels, there's this little magnifying glass here. This will let you search just their channel. If you search just... I'm going to give you a link in a second, but if you search just my channel for... Maybe this will find it. Here we go. Is this it? Hold on. Blah 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 blah. Here's a build where I put it on top. I don't like it on top as much. This is not what I was looking for. I did a build at some point. Here it is. Yeah. Here it is. This is what you want. This is what you want. Putting this link in chat. All right, there's a link in chat to this one. It's called startingtheultimatettinywhoop.com freestyle build. It's either this one or the one directly after it. Should be this one. Yeah, there you go. There I am. There I am, putting it in there. This is a Meteor, old school Meteor 65 frame. The air frame should have the same space on the bottom in the middle there. But yeah, that's where you want to put it. Hey, I finished the build on here. Very cool. Look at me go. Yeah, you want to put it in the middle and the bottom. That's where all the racers put it. Hopefully you've got the nano. Hopefully you don't have a full-size TBX Unify VTX, because that won't fit. You need to have the Unify Nano or the Pro 32 Nano. I'm assuming that you do. Danzel the Terrible says, I have a couple brands, including Magic Home. I never use their apps. Google all the way. Wow, what the hell, man? That's super annoying. Damn. Like I said, I might not actually use it, but we'll see. God damn it. That's very frustrating. That I could have been using Google Home this entire time. I just didn't. I don't know. I don't know. Frank Nicholas says, Google is evil, just like Facebook. I would never consider using anything that use/required Google Home if you value your privacy. YouTube did the thing. I gotta scroll back up. Rockcrawler says, hey, Limits says, what bluejay version should I use for the BetaFPV Cross AIO? It has AX50. Can't find the 0.16 version. I just use the oldest version that I can find. Let me take a look though to see if I can find the AX50. I mean, if you didn't find it, it's probably not here. But these are ordered in a weird way. So AX, what you want to remember with these, with this bluejay 0.16 form, is that like these are in a strange order. So just really quick, I swear to God, this is not me. Hopefully, this is not me insulting your intelligence. Where even are the AXs? Are there no AXs in here? I could have sworn that I've seen AXs in here before. AH, AL. What the hell? There are no AXs for 0.16. How is that possible? Yeah, okay. So just run the oldest version. Okay, that's not at all what I asked you to do. This mouse is just really falling apart. Shit, yeah. Use the oldest version you can. Try for 0.17. If there's not a 0.17, do 0.18. If there's not there will be a 0.18. But if there's not a 0.18, do a 0.19. For the love of God, don't use 0.20 because it's broken. It'll probably blow up your ESC. Yeah, there will be either 0.18 or 0.19. You'll be fine. Alexander Lewis Hughes says, what do you think of the HappyModel Superx HD versus the BetaFPV Cross AIO for a walk snail build? Is the ceramic antenna an issue? The ceramic antenna is fine. If it breaks off, you'll replace it with a piece of wire and it'll be lighter and you'll get slightly better signal strength from it. It's totally fine. The BetaFPV Cross AIO is a known quantity. It's known to work most of the time. It's not like super durable per se. Like I do hear quite a few complaints about them. What we have to remember though is that they sell a lot of them, right? Like BetaFPV sells a lot of stuff. So when we see a lot of complaints about BetaFPV stuff, it's because part of the reason is because they're selling loads of them. So there's a lot of them out in the world to explode, and to be built improperly, right? So yeah, the HappyModel Superx HD, maybe it's great, maybe it's way better. It's just impossible to know quite yet. We gotta wait. But yeah, I don't know. If it's anything like the Superx, or whatever the hell it's called, their new AIO with the VTX built in, seems pretty damn good to me. I've smashed the living hell out of this thing, and it's been completely fine. So yeah, the Superx AIOs might be fantastic. I would not hesitate to snag one and give them a shot, if I'm honest. I'm very impressed by the Superx with the VTX built in. Metal Dirtson says, the Cross ships with a beta version of 0.17. You could just stick with it, I suppose. I could never bring myself to do that. Yeah, I have not seen any difference between 0.17, 0.18, and 0.19. I'm sure there are differences there, but like, I've tested this a couple times. Rigs that have had problems with 0.17 also had problems with 0.18 and 0.19, and the fix was to go back to 0.16. So yeah, to me, 17, 18, and 19 are all kind of the same thing. Like I've never seen one of those versions have any kind of an impact, good or bad. So yeah, oldest version you can. All right. Caught up on chat. Let's fix some stuff. We're gonna start super simple with a quick before and after on antennas. This is the 36,000 kV Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop. I was trying some ultra lightweight antennas, and so yeah, this has 36,000 kV motors, make tons of power. There's not a whole huge need for an extremely lightweight antenna on this thing. So I would rather, with the 36,000 kV motors, I would rather carry around the heavier antenna. I have other builds with lower kV motors like this one on 32,000s that I am going to put onto lighter antennas. But let's take a look at, I'll fly half a battery with this stupidly lightweight but worst possible performing antenna, and then we'll basically put the best performing antenna on, and we'll take a look at sort of a before and after. What this antenna here is, it might look a little bit weird. All it is, it's super simple. It's a regular old whip antenna that you've got 50 of in your house. You cut off the shrink wrap on the, hold on. You cut off the, there we go. You cut off the shrink wrap here. If it doesn't focus, it doesn't focus. You'll get the idea. You cut the shrink off, and then this big bulbous fucker here is a big metal grounding thing. Up at the tip of it, you'll see a little bit of solder. And so you just put your soldering iron at the tip of the silver bastard. The solder will melt, and then you can just pull the silver bastard right off, and you end up with this. And then I put a tiny little piece of shrimp wrap here to just make that joint a little bit stronger. And that's it. That's how to make the lightest weight possible antenna. The Tiny Whoop racing guys will shorten this even farther, and apparently you don't want to do that. The raw length of the antenna does matter, and it's fractions of a fraction of a gram to shorten this guy up. So if you want the lightest weight possible antenna, leave it full length. Leave it this full length. Get the shrink wrap off of there. The shrink wrap is really heavy, actually, because it's rubber. So that just pulling the shrink wrap off makes it significantly lighter. But then you'll see this big silver shit under here that you can very easily remove with just touching your soldering iron to the little. It's like right here. It's where the silver guy meets with the silver wire part. This is the active element in the antenna, the silver wire. And so yeah. But this is related to grounding. This is some sort of like a grounding sleeve or something like that. So by removing this, it is going to make this antenna work worse. But for racing for freestyle in the same room as yourself, as you're about to see, it doesn't make much of a difference. So yeah, let's get this going here. So the first. Hey, I unplugged and plugged the VRX before the stream. So yeah, the first half of battery that I'm going to fly here is going to be with the worst possible but lightest antenna, and then we're going to swap over. Let me get the scale out, and we'll do, while we're doing this, we'll get some weight comparisons versus these two guys. So up first is that antenna. I need a transmitter. I don't need this crossfire module on it. Flew a gig yesterday, went really well. Very, very happy to get my first gig of the year. This happens every year. It's just very slow. Nobody wants to go outside, nor do I, in the ass freezing cold weather and film things. All right, here we go. This is a relatively fresh battery, so I should be able to get like proper half a battery out of it. So yeah, just pay attention to the video reception, not the camera quality, not my shitty flying, just the video reception. Let's take a look at what the video settings are. I want to put this to 25 million watts. Why is it at 200? We're just flying around in the house, yo. Why did it do that? That was weird. Let me go back in there and make sure it saved those settings. Yep, all right, we're good. All right. So down here, and there are some flashes and whatnot. I'm looking at this through rapid fire, so it's hard for me to tell. But there's a little bit of flying downstairs, and now it'll start to get worse for sure upstairs. And I'm going to do flips and rolls just to move the antenna out of orientation. And then up here, it should be really bad. My God, rapid fire just eats this up, though. Rapid fire is like perfectly clean up here. Let me go into the bathroom. That'll be even worse for you. Oh, God. All right, so there you go. There's half a battery with the worst possible antenna setup, but the lightest. And now, all right, almost a minute exactly. Perfect. And now we're going to go over to the best possible antenna. How was that? Out of 10. How many out of 10? Type a number into chat in terms of video reception. 10 out of 10 is like digital. Perfect all the time, right? So yeah, out of 10. Rate it, chat. 7 out of 10, Alexander says. Wow, that's pretty good. Grounding plane, AJ Farris says. Thank you. Video looked perfect. Why? Why did the video look perfect? Really? Maybe it'll get worse. Hold on. Sometimes the video is really bad when I go upstairs. What the hell's going on? The worst possible antennas. Maybe just this AIO is magical. Don't change a thing. Well, shit. I mean, we'll see. Maybe it gets worse. I mean, here's what's interesting about this antenna setup. is that the active element of the antenna is far away from everything else, right? Like this is the active bit of the antenna, and it's all the way up and out here in the middle of nowhere, which is really good. We're about to put an antenna on that's going to have the head, the part of the antenna that's transmitting right on top of the board. So yeah, I know, metal, but the AIOs are my AIOs, the VTXs in my AIOs are all over the damn place. So luckily this will be a quick fix because I just need to do that. Pop that off, pull this out of here. We're gonna weigh it super quick. So worst possible antenna, 0.2. Wow, it's light. 0.27 of a gram. True RC singularity, 1.09. And so that's what's going on now. Oh, if this is worse, I'm going to lose my mind. This very well could be worse. We're about to have way worse antenna placement. So that's kind of what this, that's almost what this test is. This is almost a test specifically about antenna placement. We're going from a free antenna to a $20 antenna. In a freestyle setting. If you were going to do long range stuff, well, no, I mean, you would, no, this is a test about antenna placement. If you were to put a true RC singularity on here that you could put, that you could get up out of the canopy like that, it would almost certainly win, but it would also be even heavier. So when it comes to like lightweight antennas, which are what you're going to run on a tiny whoop, maybe we should just be, I mean, even better it would be to leave the metal bastard. Maybe that's the next test that we do. Maybe I put one with the ground plane still on it. Here we go. Rest of the battery. Get in there. I should have left these on. That was silly. Let me check the output power real quick. Okay, cool. Still at 25. Good. Ready? All right, a little bit of downstairs. A little bit upstairs. Simple stuff. Fly around here, and then I went up here. And in here. Wow, it kind of looks worse in here. We're going to talk about why that might be in a second. It doesn't surprise me that, like, right now, it might look worse. Mainly because the antenna, the AIO is in between the antenna and us. Especially like right now. So I'm like right directly above my head right now, just a floor up. So this is the maximum distance between the antenna shooting through the PCB down through the floor into my big dumb head. Man, these 36,000s are awesome. Might as well fly the rest of this battery. Screw you. Oh, good. Yeah, smash into that. Good idea. Whoo! Fell right back in there. This battery's done. Better or worse, friends? All that really matters is better or worse. You don't even have to out of 10. Antenna is no better. Antenna 2 is no better, Morton Upshot says. 6 out of 10. Wow, worse. What? All right, let's talk about why. I'm not totally sure about this, but I'm pretty sure about this. It's about where the antenna is sitting. Was it significantly worse when I was upstairs in the bathroom? I'm pretty sure it looked worse even through rapid fire. So upstairs in that bathroom is diagonally this way. The main beam of the house is here. And the antenna, when I was up there, so it's diagonally this way. So the quad is like this. It's over here. And the CP antenna is directly on top of the PCB with a big bastard. No, it was on 25, Minty. With a big, copper ground plane in it. So yeah, the antenna was trying to shoot directly through the AIO and then down through the floor and whatnot. This super lightweight antenna was hanging out in the middle of nowhere all the way towards the back. So when I was hovering, there was pretty much a straight line between the antenna and my head other than going through the floor. It's not trying to punch through the PCB. And I'll show you what happens at 1,400 feet when you're trying to shoot through the PCB, because I've done that before. In 2023, on the way to Rampage, I put one of these tiny whoops 1,400 feet up with this antenna in it, with this TrueRC Singularity CP antenna in it. This is a good test. I did not expect to do this test. I did not expect the results to be as drastic as what we just saw. This is interesting. So yeah, this is that TrueRC CP antenna hanging in totally fine here when it's flat, right? The quad is like 15 feet up, so there's pretty much a straight shot between this. I'm flying away from myself like this, so there's just clear air between my head and the antenna. But then when I start to go up, why did that cause this to just stop? What the fuck? There. God, why did this computer... as I get towards the top, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, as does the wind. Look at the angle that I'm at, just trying to keep it centered. But watch this. Watch this when I get to the top. Ready? Ready? Here comes. Almost unflyable. Crystal fucking clear. Because I turned the quad over, and now it's not firing the antenna directly through the PCB. Like, look, there's no breakup. None. 1,400 feet up at the top here. Crystal fucking clear. Not a line of breakup. Wait, where is it? Give us at least one line of garbage. Not a single line from 1,400 down to like 1,000 feet. And then, more and more and more. But that is such a cool example of antenna placement, right? That is why antenna placement is magic. And I'm reconsidering all of my life choices at this point. I absolutely love having a CP antenna on here, but why? Damn. 661FPV says, get yourself a IRC Rf power meter. I have one. Some of the HappyModel AIO VTXs make 300 milliwatts at the 25 milliwatt setting. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't used that in a while. It just sits in my bag. This is a perfect excuse to use it. Here's the funny thing, though. With tiny whoops inside the house, you actually sometimes want less output power. Oh, I took it. Did I take it out of this? Where the hell did I put it even? I had it in my bag for the longest time. It would appear that I've taken it out. And then the question becomes, where did it go? Oh, boy. I mean, it's here somewhere. Where would I have put it? If I were an RF power meter, where would I be? Yeah, the output settings on HappyModel AIOs are super inconsistent. That is a known fact. I don't know where I put it. I don't know where it is. It's here somewhere. I'll find it at some point. But yeah, 25 milliwatts. Lately I've been noticing that the tiny whoops around the house, the signal strength kind of sucks. The quality of the video coming into the goggles kind of sucks. What I've also realized is that a whole bunch of them were on 200 milliwatts. And when you have a shitload of power like that inside of a building, it creates more bounces, and those bounces create multipathing that is not great. So, yeah. Antenna placement. It's funny, I've always preached how important antenna placement was, and then I built these guys, and I was all happy that I was able to get a good quality antenna in them, and I just completely ignored what I preach. I've never really preached antenna placement on tiny whoops. I've always preached it on 3-inch rigs, 5-inch rigs, long-range rigs, stuff like that. I never thought about it in terms of tiny whoops. What's super interesting is that you can run an antenna that's 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 grams lighter that has phenomenal antenna placement and apparently works better. That's super frustrating. I did not expect it to go this way. Anybody want to buy some ultra short TrueRC singularity antennas? I mean, like it was noticeably worse with the nice antenna, right? Having the antenna right next to the PCB is just bad. It's just a bad setup. And like, if I'm gonna have the antenna inside of the canopy, it has to be like that. So yeah, you know where these antennas are nice for is toothpicks, because you can hang the antenna off the back. Like, you can orient your VTX in your toothpick rig, where the U.F.L. plug is towards the rear of it, and then you can hang the antenna off the back, and that's all we need. I could technically do it. Oh, here's the test. Here's the test, yo. Hold on. So I'm going to rotate this antenna forwards. This is going to be hard to fly, but this is going to be a good little test here. Get a load of this. Get a load of this. We're going to fly another battery on the exact same rig, and we're going to do a little proof of concept here. So, what I've done... Is this going to work? I think this is going to work. I'll wait till you see this goofy shit. This is what we're going to do. That's out the front. Hold on, you can barely even see it. Oh, yeah. Maximum jank. But, look, we're moving the head of the antenna that's doing all the transmitting a little bit away from the PCB. From the copper PCB. Watch the difference that this makes. This battery is done. Let's pull this battery here. Ooh, this is going to be cool.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Still, the head of this antenna is still not quite as far away as the janky bare wire antenna. The janky Bear Grylls antenna. Come on. I've always said, for the record, I've always said that the TrueRC Singularity antenna is worse. I'm sorry, is optional, not worse. Is an optional upgrade, and that if you're gonna skip something, skip that. Oh boy, is that weird having it there. Why is that so weird? Hold on. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, yeah, buddy. Hello. Hello, little friend. Look how silly you look. Oh. Failed mirror flip. All right, let's go upstairs. All right, so looking fine. I'm getting a little garbage up there. I feel like I got no garbage with the linear antenna. Like, I felt like it was 100% perfect, like, the whole time, which I usually don't get. I think I've just had these tiny whoops cranking too much power in the house. Oh, God. Well, I'll be able to see if I lose the antenna. This battery just ate shit. This is one of the older batteries. What do you guys think? Better or worse? Okay. Better or worse? Last thing we're going to do is go back to the bare wire antenna, because why wouldn't we? It's kind of working the best. And this'll complete the AB. Well, we're actually kind of doing ABCA testing, but you know what I mean. Still worse. Wow, great. Worse, but I think it's back at 200. No, it's at. I mean, it shouldn't be. It's saved. Let's take a look. Yeah, now it's saved at 25, so it's still at 25. Let's go back to the bare wire. Interesting. Oops. Brent Anderson says, I picked up 3 of those short singularities / tried to stuff it under the dome, Mobile 6. Got scared and bailed. Up and out. The canopy mounts down nice to the connection point. You know what it could also be? I've put these... So, circular polarized antennas are kind of across the board fragile. The tuning... you've got a couple of PCBs with, like, diagonal... little miniature antennas essentially in there, and then you've got like this flexible PCB around the outside, and then you've got a flat PCB on the top, and I think another one on the bottom, and like the distances and everything are very precise and it's very important for those distances to be perfect, for that antenna to be properly tuned. I'm really hard on gear, and I've had these antennas on for a long time. You would think that you got to look up top, Alexander. You got to look up at the top. Where I'll show you next time. I'll show you where you want to look. Yeah, I might have smashed these hard enough to knock them out of tune. They don't. There is a little bit of a rattle. Hold on. Usually the rattle. Yeah, no, it's fine. If you've got a CP antenna and you take it and shake it and it rattles, it's broken. Get rid of it in most cases. There is like a little bit of a rattle between the... You got to be careful, because like the plastic head to the wire could be... Although this is not good. This rotates, and that's not great. You do not want the head of the antenna to rotate. This antenna might be broken. This is a suspect antenna right here. Do I have... Let's do this. Here's another rig. This is the 32,000 kV rig. This is the 36,000 kV rig. I was going to put the heavier antenna on the 36,000 kV rig. 32,000 kV rig has the heavier... Another True RC Singularity Ultra Short. let's take it off. Because I was going to move... This rig makes sense to run on the ultra lightweight antenna, you know, because it's got less power. Let's try a different antenna. Because CP antennas... CP stands for circular polarized, for anybody that's new. Are supposed to work way better than linear antennas, especially linear antennas that you've bastardized by removing the ground plane piece. So let's try another ultra short, and let's test it real quick. No rattles. And it also won't spin. It's not spinning on the... Whee! It's not spinning on the cable. Let's give this a shot. I'm going to run this inside the canopy. I'm going to make it... I'm going to set it up the way that, like, you know, I've built these things to run. Here's another thing to notice. If you go to put a U.F.L. antenna on and there's not, like, a positive snap, you can fix that. Put your little 5X loop on. Look at what you're doing. And I'll show you. You just are going to kind of squeeze it. Once you have magnification, you can see what the hell's going on here. There's a chance I can actually show it to you guys as I'm doing it. Not a good chance, but a chance nonetheless. So you're going to take it here, and once you have magnification, you'll be able to see... Come on. Son of a bitch. See how there's 3 pieces on the outside? 1, 2, 3. All right, so here's what you want to do. And you got to be really careful. Oh, this is dumb. I'm doing this through the OBS window. This is so stupid for me to do it this way, but whatever. Do it for you guys. You're going to take it, and you're just going to squeeze these guys in just a little bit. See that? See that little bit of motion there? Just squeeze that guy in. And then if you really want, those are the big ones. But if you really want, you can also do this guy. And you just squeeze him in just a little bit. The metal just kind of fatigues over time. You don't want to squeeze it in a lot, because then you're gonna fatigue it too much. And now, this will probably click. Let's see. When I go to put it on, it'll be harder to put on. Ready? Ah! I know you fucking heard that. I know you heard that. Real gentle. You got to be really, really, really gentle with that. Did you hear it? I don't actually know that you heard it. I'm just assuming that you heard it because it was loud. Oh, I lost a screw. Where'd it go? Is it in my crotchal region, or is it stuck to a motor? Probably stuck to a motor. I just lost another one. What? How is there a rubber grommet down here? Where'd this rubber grommet come from? Where'd the screw go? It's not in my ball area. It's gone. It's gone. Usually they're stuck to the motors. What was I doing with this? I was holding it up. Hey, there it is. All right. Almost there. Here we go. I'm not bothering to put this on the bench cam because there's nothing to really see. I'm screwing in screws to the canopy. Morton Upshot says we heard the click. Awesome. But Anderson says the UFLs are only rated for about 30 mating cycles. I don't know if you, I don't know about you, but I need a lot more mating cycles than that. 30's okay. 30's a good number. It's fine, you know? Take what we can get. Alright, here we go. So, let's see how this is. I have a feeling that True RC Singularity is dead. I think that it was basically running on no antenna. But we should know a lot better in a second. Kevin Sumner says, do you remember if the walk snail goggles lose all binds when the firmware is updated? I do not remember. That's a good question, though. My guess would be yes, that they do. That's my guess. All right, let's see. I have no idea. I have no idea how this is going to go. I also have no idea why there's a rubber grommet just randomly sitting on the floor. It's a little confusing. I'm going to run the rest of this battery. I think there's maybe just enough. No, there's not. This battery was flat when it came in, wasn't it? 3.88. This battery is just old and moldy. It's got enough to get us around the house once. Let's see. The song of our people. Same rig, same everything. Different TrueRC Singularity antenna. Possibly one that works this time. Let's see. Here we go. Whoa, hey, easy fella. Easy fella. After this, we're going to go to the bare wire. Maybe, unless this is good. Oh, God, this poor battery. I'm going to run this battery really low. The reason why the battery is sagging so low is because the internal resistances suck. I kind of don't care. This battery can go to hell at this point. Oh, no, that's way worse. Whoa, that is way worse. What the hell, man? Okay. Why is that way worse? Here, let me show you where to look for the actual power. You want to... What the fuck? Why did it go back to 200? So, this is what matters right here. What? What was that? Why? What the hell? When I check... What? Hold on. Yeah, okay, so it is... What the fuck? Why is it... I know what's going on. I know what's going on. I think I know what's going on. I think it's defaulting to the settings in Betaflight. Alright, hold on. Wow, this turned into a whole different thing, didn't it? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So I think what it's doing is it keeps reverting to the settings that are in here in Betaflight for some reason. It's like not saving. So let's see. If I put it to 25 in here. What the hell? Somebody in chat said, Raging Leet says conflict Betaflight transmitter Lua, probably. That's an interesting idea. I did just start using the, I didn't have the Lua stuff set up for a while there, but I did on a stream. One of you guys convinced me to do it. So if I go to Express LRS, and then I go to transmitter power, see, no, this is set to 100. Oh, no, this is the, no, I want VTX administrator, sorry, VTX administrator. R8 power level 3. Let's go down to power level 1. Pit mode off. Send VTX. I wonder if this will make the change so that I can see it in here. All right, and let's go back. Let's see what this does. Back. Okay, let me just back this out. And okay, so the Lua script is now sending power 1. Let's try to swap this down to 25 again. And now it seems to be saving 25. Wow, it's really weird that it was like showing 25. Don E with a $3 super chat. Thank you, dude. Much appreciated. Now it seems to be saving 25. This Lewis script shit can go to hell. Okay. This battery is obviously done. Let's get back into the Quad OSD and see what's up. This is weird and new. Okay. And what do we got here? So, let's see. Features, VTX. Now it's at 25. So up on the top here, this can be sitting at 200 and that's fine. Like if I go out of the menu and then back in, this number down here can still be at 200. That's fine. That's just like, you know, what you're gonna set it at. Unless you hit save, it doesn't actually set it. What matters is the number up top under the word smart audio. So it seems to now be at 25. Let's see how it is at 25 when I go all the way up. Trying to figure out like what it's been at. Yeah, okay. So this is garbage up here now. This is really bad up here. Holy Christ. Okay, so 200 was maybe. Oh man, this is performing the worst so far here. This antenna that I thought was better. Let's try this. So 200 is, and now I'm going to hit save, and now up top you're going to see it swap to 200, but now it goes right back down to 25. So it's a Lua issue. So if I go into the Lua script, I don't really like this. I don't want to have to change this in the Lua script. I'd rather be able to change it in the thing. So now I'm going to go up to power level 2. And I'm going to hit send. Look at that! Wow! Okay, yeah, so it's a Lua issue. It's not working any better at 100. Interesting. Wow, it's really nasty now. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's rolling and shit. Now it's better. Oh, but you know, it's getting really hot. The core temperature is too hot. The VTX is suffering because of that. Wow, let's go back to a bare piece of wire. Well, hold on. No. It's only fair to test this once the temperatures come down. So we're going to land on that box. That box was a really good spot because it was just effed. Come on. As soon as that core temperature warning clears out, there it is. All right, so that's how I want to test it. We're going to look in towards the wall from this box. All right. So there's that. So I'm getting like a little bit of breakup. For you guys, it's pretty nasty. Wow, yeah. Good God, the rapid fire really does a good job. Okay, so now the core is back up to 160. So, oh, but I wanted to actually change the... I want to change the output power. Let me see if I can change the output power while I'm hovering. Oh boy, this is a strange game to be playing. Lua script. Okay. Oh god. Express LRS. Yep. Loading. Oh god. Easy, easy. Oh, why won't the core temperature come down? Come down, you bastard. Lewis script. VTX administrator. Power level. I'm gonna go back down to power level 1. Power level 1. Send VTX. I wonder if it'll do it like live. Send VTX. Why is the core temperature going up? Stop it! Stop going up, core temperature. Let's go into the OSD and see if it sent that power change while I was flying. It did not. It's still at 100. That's kind of funny. You have to be in the menu, I guess. 25. But now it's going to stick at 25, I think. Yeah. Save and exit. Let's go back in. VTX. Yeah, no. So it looks like... Yeah, alright. Well, we got to see it without that core temperature on. Let me switch back to the wire antenna. Well, you know, and again, this might be a working... This might be a working antenna, but it's still right next to the antenna placement still does matter, and this antenna is right next to the PCB rather. So yeah, hello, little Juan. Look who it is. It's a giant fluff monster, and a dog too. See what I did there, Azalea?
Yeah.
Not a fan of the dad jokes, eh? You liar, you love dad jokes. Look at this handsome dog and his handsome eyebrows. Dog, I'm gonna chop you up into little bits and cook you for dinner tonight. Are you cool? Is that okay? What do you think, Azalea? Should we do it? Should we literally eat the dog? Or should we just figuratively eat the dog? Both! Both. Yo, look at how stupid these goggles look on your head. Silly HD0 goggles. Alright, we're going to go to the piece of wire antenna. I think that we've been wasting our money on True RC Singularity Ultra Shorts. I'm so sorry, guys. I never in a million years would I think that... Man, this is an important lesson. This is a lesson in antenna placement seemingly being more important than the quality of the antenna. So this is what happens when Azalea holds the dog. She's just holding him. She's not squeezing him or anything. Watch this. I'm gonna hold him the exact same way. Right, I'll give him back to Azalea. He's just a bad dog. He's a bad boy. He's a bad boy. Look at him. Look at the bad boy. Look at him chewing. He views he does not respect Azalea, and so she's holding him like lightly. Give me these paw pads. He just chews on her too. He's just chewing. Get him out of here. Get this bad bastard out of here. You got 9 more minutes. I'm sure you're down here to play more Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
You got 9 minutes. Get him out of here. He's too loud. Get him out. He's out. Get this dog out. Out. He just came after you. Get him out. Get him out. He's so bad. He's so bad. Fix his ear, though. I can't handle the ear backwards thing. All right. I couldn't look away when his ear was backwards. This is crazy. I feel terrible that I and all of us have wasted our money on True RC Singularity Ultra Shorts. Hey, Teddy, that's a bit much. Oh, you're holding them? All right, that's fine. Put them in your toothpicks. Hang them out the side of your toothpicks to get them away from... look, antennas don't like being near carbon fiber. I don't really think that... I don't think we need to email Hugo. Look, when I'm upstairs with this, the antenna is on the complete opposite side of the PCB. And we saw damn well on that. Look, this antenna, 1,400 feet up in the air, gave us crystal clear signal when there was not a big sheet of copper in between it and our goggles, right? So, like, I know that this antenna works. The problem is placement. The problem is antenna placement. Putting this directly next to a grounding plane is probably the worst thing that you can do for it. That's what Hugo's going to say. I'm certain that this antenna is properly manufactured because, like I said, 1,400 feet out on a garbage little tiny whoop VTX, we had dead clear video coming all the way down that antenna. So I know that these antennas work. It's just that putting them right next to the, we're just crippling the damn things. That is crazy. It makes total sense, though. It makes total sense. Can somebody else test this for me? There's dancing happening. Show me in 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Let me finish strong here, Azalea. Hey, can somebody test this for me? Can somebody else back this up? This testing that I'm doing is very specific. I'm flying up above my head where I'm putting, so when I'm in the basement, it basically looks like this to the goggles. As I go upstairs, it looks like this. When I go all the way upstairs, it's this. And the antenna is back here versus the piece of wire antenna. The wire end is all the way out there, right? So again, this is a kind of a brilliant test of antenna placement, I think. This stupidly lightweight antenna is also stupidly long, and it's able to get the active element of the antenna outside of where the ground plane is. And this is also a really cool example of you need to set your antenna up as per where you fly. If you're flying on a level plane where your head and the antennas on your head are going to be level with the quad most of the time, you're fine. You're fine to run this short little antenna because most of the time the quad's going to be up like this and the antenna is going to... Look, you need to have as much air between the active element of the antenna and your goggle antennas as possible. That's what matters. But I think what we're seeing here is that our electronic components have a ground plane on them that really affects this, and I certainly did not respect it as much as I do now. So yeah, if you're gonna fly a level up above yourself, even another level up, you might not want this antenna. I want to hear from other people, though. I know goddamn well a bunch of you have bought these True RC ultra short singularities. Here's the other thing to realize, right? With Freestyle, we're flipping and flopping and rotating all over the place. So even if you're standing on your front porch and you're flying in your front yard, every time you flip away so that the PCB is in between the head of the antenna and yourself, that's going to potentially be a little bit worse. That's what I want to hear from you beautiful bastards. I'm going to put the janky little wire antenna back on, and we're going to do one more quick test. Damn. This is not how I expected this to go. I was going to do this quick antenna swap and just be done with it. But we ended up taking the entire stream on just this, which was, again, not the plan. But I'm kind of glad that we did it, because I think we're about to see a dramatic improvement in video quality from this thing, which is pretty cool. from a free antenna. At some point, I will show you. I have one more of these antennas with the ground plane on them. Maybe tomorrow night, maybe Whoop Wednesday, I'll show you. It's so easy. You can do it. But I'll show you how to modify a whip antenna to be incredibly lightweight and super durable at the same time. So the extra durability comes from me just putting that tiny little bit of shrink wrap there. This is wild, yo. Hey, this is why we test. So there it is. There's the setup. It's up and it's out, you know? And like if you look at the quad like this, well, you can look at it like this. That active element is, here it is. See it? And it's all the way out. The PCB ends here, and then the active element is out there. So if I rotate it perfectly like that, yes, the active element and the null will be really bad, or like that. That'll be terrible. But every single other orientation, the active element is way farther outside of the PCB. This is a charged battery. Let's try it. Same settings, 25 milliwatts. We kind of bounced the power settings around a little bit. I wish that I'd been a little bit more consistent with the power settings, but I also learned that that ELRS is screwing up my has been screwing up my VTX settings for a while. All right. I almost Stevie Wondered it. So, here we go. So in theory, this should be better. Wait, let's check the VTX. 25 milliwatts. All right. At the beginning of the stream, we were at 200. Easy. So, perfect. Down here. A little bit of garbage there. And now here's the real test up here. Bathroom should be the worst. A little bit of garbage. Not as much garbage, though. This is better. This is better. And now I'm going to sit it on the box. Oh, hold on. Don't you dare. Come on now. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Right? What's it look like for all you? Oh, yeah, that's... Well, there it goes. Now it's starting to look like ass. I guess the VTX, the AIO is heating up. But, no, that's better, right? Like, whoa! I didn't expect Teddy to be there. Hello, little dog. Okay! Wow. Better, right? What a wuss out on that. Oh, God. What a wuss out on that power loop there. Make sure I didn't knock anything over. Now we good. Wow. Antenna placement, friends. I know I've preached that before, but I didn't practice it with these tiny whoops. So for your 6 batteries today, you can pay attention to antenna placement and video quality. I have another couple batteries to fly, and then we'll shut this down. 36,000 kV, kicking ass as always. Ah, I didn't quite make that Matty flip. I was going for it, though. Oh, man, I made a really weird correction and somehow pulled it off in that. Ah! Couldn't quite drop it in there. Last one. It went through. Yo! Definitely better, right? Like for sure better. That is really frustrating. Wow. Anybody not think it's better? I would still like for you guys to test. I would still like to hear from someone else that I'm not crazy. I mean, I know I'm crazy, but I'd like to know that I'm not dead wrong about this. So, okay, I started off to swap the antenna on this, and now we've ended up with the same antenna on it, which is fine, because this antenna is working great. Wow. Weird. Cool. So this rig is done. It flies good. It is heating up a little bit, which let's spin the motor. Let me see if I'm starting to beat these motors up. So if you've got a rig that's not acting, look, this is actually something that you should just do all the time. Get me out of the Lewis script. Also, keep in mind that the ELRS Lewis script is going to potentially make your VTX act a little weird. If you've got a rig that's starting to act weird, or you just want to check the health of your motors, turn on turtle mode, hold it in your hand so you can feel the vibes, and just fire up one motor at a time. And just feel for the for the amount of vibrations. You want to spin it up low. Low RPM is where you can feel the vibrations. So spin it up low, real gentle. And then fire up a different motor. And you're comparing. So, motor 4, perfectly smooth. Motor 2, starting to vibrate. Motor 1, perfectly smooth. Motor 3, not bad at all. Motor 2 is a problem. Yeah, motor 2 is a little banged up. It could be the propeller. Swap the propeller, see if it's any better. That's how you check the health of your motors. It's probably a bent motor shaft. The 1mm motor shafts on these are not long for this world. They after a bunch of hard hits, they break. They don't break, they bend. They might as well break. Wow. Blind Pyro says, I get a lot less reflections from all the metal shit in my yard with the Singularity compared to the whip. Great point, Blind Pyro. Great point. CP antennas are great for eliminating multipathing. What might be happening in this house is there's a lot less multipathing. So you always, you don't always, but you kind of have to prioritize multipathing versus penetration. I always go for penetration, obviously. Now, multipathing CP antennas are going to crush. Penetration, in this case, good antenna placement is going to crush. So yeah, this is wild, yo. What a cool little series of tests that I'm now questioning everything. Metal Dirtson says, does that USB VTX have a CP antenna on it or a linear? It has a True RC Singularity and a TBS Unify. The VRX though, the VRX does not have any issues with antenna placement. Yeah. The VRX antenna placement is perfect. Antenna placement is what is affecting this, I think. Although I do have a linear antenna that we will test. We're not going to test it today because we're over time. And yeah, to be continued on this, man. This is tomorrow night's stream, I think, is going to be how to get better video reception in your house. And we're going to test linear versus CP. I will actually switch over to the single antenna VRX. Here it is. Cool. Single antenna VRX. We're going to test TBS Unify antenna versus TrueRC Singularity versus whip antenna. I'm going to need your guys' help. I can't do it in the goggles. Well, I can do it in the goggles, but it's through rapid fire. So my dialogue will be through rapid fire. In theory, what you can expect sitting in a chair in sort of the corner of the room. And then the second data point will be for you guys. This thing will be hanging up in the corner. And then we'll switch a couple of antennas. Actually, I can pull it over here by me, and we can switch them at the desk. That'll be nice. Yeah, I have just enough cable length where I can pull this guy. So this is the way it's set up right now. TrueRC Singularity on a little pin in versus pin out, and then the TBS Unify. So we'll switch this guy on and see what happens. Yeah, cool. Nick Burns did a video about this, talking about how he gets such good video quality. And the number one thing that he says is it's where I sit. Milliwatt Monday, hell yeah. Nice, Kevin. Yeah, the number one thing he said for getting the really good video quality that he gets in the house, it was specifically sitting in the one spot that he sits. Easiest way to think about it is that if you sit in the middle, like if you look at the area that you're going to fly and then you sit in the middle of that area. So for me, best case would be to sit upstairs on the couch because that's right in the middle. I go up a floor, I go down a floor, and the couch is like right over there, like right above there. So I would be, when I came down here, I would be like shortest distances, right? Cool. This will be fun. Let's see if I can remember that that's the idea that I had for tomorrow night. Probably won't. If I swap to the single antenna version, this will be my reminder. So yeah, we're on the single antenna version now. We will, well, fuck it. Hold on. Real quick. One more. Real quick. Putting on the rubber ducky antenna, as some people call them. And it's pointing up. Let's fly a proper freestyle battery here. I'll try to actually do some fun moves. Let me fly my Fat Sharks. I haven't flown them in a while. I've been on the HD0 goggles a bunch. Let's get back onto the old Fat Shark HD3s. See how they are. All right, so I can immediately notice a difference in the OLED, the lack of OLED screens. That's pretty obvious. Can I just turn the contrast up? That helps. All right, here we go. Whoa, hey! So I have no idea. You know, I'm flying through rapid fire. I have no idea if the linear antenna that I just put on that VRX is doing anything. Also, keep in mind that you were just on a diversity VRX. You're now not on a diversity VRX. Tomorrow night we're gonna just use the single antenna non-diversity. Obviously. Eee. Ooh, that was a nice little correction I did. Look at that throw from these motors, my God. That was the weirdest wall ride ever. Where'd that dog go? Capita dog! Oh! Whoa! Oh, here he comes. He's coming down. He knows where I fly from. Oh! That's right next to his dog bowl. Wow. We almost went for a bath, Teddy. He's by my feet. I feel him. Oh, God. I feel him by my feet. Hello, small dog. How are you today? Oh, God. Smashed into the table. Are you Mr. Tough Stuff today? It's not a tough stuff kind of day? Go get it. Go get it. Be a tough boy. Do the steps. Do your steps, buddy. Do the thing that makes me laugh every time. Look at that beard. Look at it. Look how fluffy he is. You guys remember how bad his haircut was? He's fluffed up a lot. I love him a lot more now that he's extra fluffy. I loved him significantly less when he had a bad haircut. He did a little jump. He's a good dog. Hey, I don't know what's up and what's down. And that unrecoverable crash will be the end of the live stream. How is it? Is it better with the linear antenna? What do you think? Can you tell a difference? You can't tell a difference, can you? Can you tell? Can you tell? I'm going to get caught up on chat and then we'll shut this down for the day. Hello, Teddy Spaghetti. I love you, dog. I'm going to eat you. I'm going to cook you up and eat you. That's the sincerest form of love. Oh, my God. Slightly worse. That would make sense. That would make sense. CP antennas should perform better as long as there's no change in antenna placement. In this case, is what I think that we're... it was better, AJ Farah says. All right, so slightly the same. It was basically the same. Alexander Lewis Hughes says, my antennas without the metal ground are noticeably worse versus stock. That makes sense. Ethan W says, I tested with bare wire versus ground plane, and I like the way the bare wire looked. Definitely does look better. What are you're digging now? You're digging at the carpet? I love that. Do that. Yeah. It didn't cost a fortune or anything. Great. What are you eating? Kevin says, how can I book you for TS and helping me with my FPV stuff? If you want the protection that, so CiottiFPV.com has all the things that I'm doing. On there is a link to Fiverr. If you want to book through Fiverr, you can. Their messenger kind of sucks and they take a percentage, but it's fine. If you book through Fiverr, you're protected by Fiverr. If I do a bad job or whatever, they'll refund you. If you trust me, and if I do a bad job, you can just come to the live stream and shit all over me. Just message me. Facebook, Instagram, email, Discord are the most popular ways. Don't do Facebook. I'm trying to get off of there. And yeah, we'll figure out a time, a date, talk about what you're looking for, and away we go. I've been doing this for almost 8 years now, and it is my honor to dump all of that knowledge onto all of you. It's hard to do it on these live streams because I got to try to, format it for everyone. Working one-on-one with you guys is amazing because I can get a feel for how I can explain stuff to you specifically, and that saves a lot of time. So you can, spend a half an hour with me and pick up like 6 months worth of knowledge that it would have taken you to find on Facebook and, on Facebook groups. Along the way on Facebook groups, you're going to get a whole bunch of bad info and you might kill someone. So don't do that. I'm going to put another incredibly lightweight antenna onto another one of these Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoops. And yeah, somebody please test this and tell me that you had the True RC Singularity worked better for you. For the love of God. I need someone... I need it to be better for someone. I bet you if I flew these things outside, it would be better. I bet you flying these outside, the CP antenna is going to work better. I don't really fly these things outside, though. So for me, I'm going to start moving over to these ultra light antennas. What do you think of that, world? Am I caught up on the chat? I think I am. Sprout says, do you have any good shops for people in Europe? I don't know any offhand, but Sprout, I've got you covered. Over on my Discord, there's a link to it from CiottiFPV.com. There is... All right, you're going to have to give me $3 for this. There's a text channel on my Patreon called... Where is it? All FPV Retailers. It is in the Patreon section, so you're going to have to join my Patreon for $3 whole a month. You can just join for 1 month and then go into this Discord channel and just copy all the links into a text document, and then you'll have gotten this info for $3. But hopefully once you're over on the Discord and you see the stuff that you get from joining Patreon, you'll stay on board because, yeah, this is a totally crowdfunded thing. And I would love for you to be a gangly ganger for more than just 1 month. But if you just do it for 1 month, that's cool. I love it. Yeah, All FPV Retailers is a text channel over on my Discord with tons of links to FPV shops. And there's certain people that will have posted a bunch of European shops because they're in Europe. So yeah, All FPV Retailers is an awesome little text channel over on my Discord. When you join Patreon, you'll get instructions on how to connect it to the Discord so that you get access to all the extra channels. And I'm almost caught up on chat. Curtis Hayes says, I need more screws for my canopies for my hummingbirds. Can I PayPal you $10 and you send me some? It depends on which screws you're looking for, Curtis. Don't just blindly PayPal me. Message me. Tell me which screws you're looking for. And yeah. Layman Board says, of course, all these are ridiculous. I started building an antenna tracker, but never finished. Best solution is to use the ultralights. Man, that's really frustrating. But I think I'm running into the same thing. Steve-O says, I recently started into PID tuning with pidtoolbox. Is it just me or is it super frustrating with Tiny Whoops? Yeah, tuning on Tiny Whoops, there doesn't seem to be any major gains. Many have tried. I've yet to see anybody like really come up with a unique filter tune or PID tune that's like that much better than very basic filter and PID tuning that we do. So yeah. Northern Tier says, ate dinner with Bot last night at the Northeast Whoop races. Dude is awesome to hang with. He is indeed. Yeah, we are very lucky to have DJ in the FPV community. He's a great guy. Fucking great guy. And then Sprout with the last comment of the live stream. He says, thank you. We'll go over to Patreon. Love your stuff. Started watching yesterday. Trying to get my first drone and goggles right now. Thank you for your work. Thank you for the support. And enjoy, my friend. There's lots of good stuff. Yeah, man. Joining now. Woo, you got a mountain of good info in front of you. But I work really hard for it to be good info and good factual stuff rather than just hearsay from God knows where on the internet. Thanks for hanging, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern time. CiottiFPV.com. Do it. And we'll keep hanging together like this. Bye-bye. I'm not ready. Here's the Meteor 75 Pro build on 1002 23,500 kV motors with the 45mm tri-blades. Not ready. Turn the subtitles off and see you later, friends. See you tomorrow night.